Good morning or whatever time it is, wherever you are. My name is Sunil Varma and this is probably the first episode or the pilot episode, depending on what the editors decide. We have a few names that we have been thinking of as far as the channel is concerned. And I was thinking the Times of Bombay, but I think it's taken. I was thinking of Bombay Tribune, it's taken. And I think Bombay Star hasn't been taken. The reason it's called Bombay and not Mumbai is because this is the Bombay we were born in. On my birth certificate, it's Bombay. And these are the memories of a time when Mumbai was called Bombay. Mumbai was also called Mumbai in Gujarati and Marathi. And there was this newspaper called the Mumbai Samachar. I think it was called the Bombay Samachar. And it was a Gujarati newspaper which a lot of Parsis read and a lot of Khoja Muslims and Bori Muslims read. And some of my earliest memories of that newspaper was that it had Mutt and Jeff. Mutt and Jeff were two cartoon characters, and it had Modesty Blaze. And on Sunday it would have Lee Falk, it would have Phantom, and it would have Herbie. Was it Herbie? No, it would have Blondie. It would have Blondie. And when I was young, I had a thing for books. So much so that I would cherish the 5 paise books that were available at that time. They were very tiny books. Or I would take a Amar Chitra Katha, the Jataka Tales, and let me sit down. This will be edited, so don't worry. You won't see this. Yeah, so we had the Jataka Tales and I cut it to a small size. I had a thing for small pieces of art, and books were pieces of art. And when I was young and when I walked back from Don Bosco, after the 3rd standard, I moved from St. Francis to Don Bosco. And we had something called the Ganesh stores and the Glory stores and the Golden stores and the Regal stores. And obviously, I used to make these comic books. Sometimes we would take an eraser, which is called rubber in India for some reason, and we would put oil on it, and then we would take the ink impression of Mutt and Jeff, and we would print the face of Mutt on the eraser, and we would think that we have created a piece of art. Sometimes we would take a tracing paper and we would trace Mutt and Jeff. Jeff was a very short guy, he was a midget who was bald, and Mutt was a tall guy who looked rather English with his striped pajama-like trousers. They were, striped pants with suits and what have you. And I think this was created by Bud Fisher, and the year is 1930 something. And those were the days I used to go to Andheri during the weekend, because I was from Borivali, but my grandparents lived in Andheri. And Andheri was a beautiful place that time. We could see the Gilbert Hill, and one day we climbed the Gilbert Hill. And that time Gilbert Hill was not as bad, and we didn't have a sprawling hutment and a Chupatpatti area as big as Jungali, which is probably bigger than Dharavi now. But I mean, we didn't have any particular prejudice for the poor. Somehow, the film actors of that time were always poor, whether it was Amitabh Bachchan in Diwar, or it was Shashi Kapoor in Fakira, or Chor Machaye Shor, or Dharmendra in Fool or Patthar or something like that. The actors that time were always poor. So being poor was the norm mostly. So we never looked down on the poor people or people who lived in huts. I think there was a movie of Devanand where he's a very rich guy and he goes and stays with the poor people for some reason. And he meets Sadhna, who's a teacher, who teaches him how to speak in English. ABCD probably. And there were a lot of Sunday movies that time. And our life was divided into Thursdays when we had Chai Geet, and that was amazing. And on Fridays we had Phool Khile Gulshan Gulshan. And on Saturday we had a Marathi movie or any regional language movie. And on Sunday we had the Sunday movie. And there was a break. There was the Batmya at 7:40 and then there was Samachar. But the Samachar would always come after the movie. And the Batmya would have Viko Vajradanti ad. And those were the days. I mean, we used to love our televisions. They were mostly two companies before Dionara came in with its splendid designs. But they were black and white television. They were in fact black and blue television sets. And we had Bharat TV. And that time they thought that blue light was good for the eyes, which actually now they say that the blue light is bad for you. We had Bharat TV and we had ECTV. Now South Indians always liked ECTV. And South Indians always liked the Times of India or Indian Express. And that was their lifestyle. And I think the Times of India had Tintin. And I had a neighbor called Raju, who was such a nice guy. And he used to cut Tintin strips for me because he knew I loved Tintin. Tintin was the biggest thing that ever happened in comic books. I mean, we were in Amar Chitrakatha, and Amar Chitrakatha mostly had 4 people. So we had Mandrake the magician, we had Flash Gordon, he was out of this world. I mean, literally, he went to alien planets. It's like Star Trek, really. And there was Phantom, of course, and then there was Bahadur. And Bahadur was an Indian hero, and he had a girlfriend called Bela. And these were Indrajal books, which were published by Bennett and Coleman, probably, and that's Times of India. And it would just cost you 1 rupee, and it came out every Thursday night. And at one juncture, people just went crazy about Phantom. And what followed later was a decline in Mandrake readership. So then they would have these books which was half Phantom and half Mandrake. So you would buy a Phantom book which would have half Mandrake. So they've sold you Mandrake also. And then they'll have a second part and a third part and what have you. Those were beautiful times. The next prize was 101 rupee 10 paisa. Then it was 1 rupee 25 paisa. And when Phantom got married to Diana Palmer, it was 1 rupee 50 paisa. And he was the 21st Phantom. It was 4 centuries ago. There was a boy who sailed with Christopher Columbus, who became the first Phantom, who'd fight all the terrorism. Terrorism is a modern word, and you know why, but he would fight all the evil forces on this earth. So this is just the start. This could be 0 or this could be 1. Welcome to my channel. We don't even have a name, but as soon as we have a name, you will see it. Have a nice day. Thank you for listening. My name is Sunil Verma. If you like it, you can press the bell icon or like and subscribe and whatever they say. Have a nice day. Thank you for listening.